Hi, here we have the Algebra 2 Trigonometry Regents exam from June 2012. Let's take a look at some of the questions here and let's try to understand and solve them. Okay, we got two binomials here. You got the 2/5 x minus 3/4 y squared times the other one over here. Notice that both looks exactly the same except for the sign in between. One's a positive and one's a negative. What that means is they are conjugates. And in conjugates, when they multiply, the middle term disappears. Let me give an example. X plus 4 times x minus 4. Okay. What happens here if you try to FOIL this out or distribute properly? You'll get x squared plus negative 4x plus 4x minus 16. The negative 4x plus 4x over here always cancels out, and you're left with x squared minus 16. Therefore, a simpler multiplication is the front, the first times the first over here, and the last times the last. And this is always true for conjugates. The middle terms will always cancel out. So, looking at this problem over here, we see that there's 2/5 x here and 2/5 x here. We're going to multiply these two. It becomes 4 over 25x squared. And on the last or right variable over here, we got 3/4 y squared times 3/4 y squared. We will get 9 over 16 y to the fourth, right? And there's a minus sign in between because a positive and a minus will be a negative here. And let's check the answers. We do have choice 1. And there you have it. Right, any more questions, feel free to subscribe and just comment right below over there in the comment box. But now let's take a look at question number 2. Number 2 asks for the domain of the function, right? This is the function. It starts somewhere on the left here and ends somewhere on the right. All right, let's take a look. Domain talks about the x-axis. Domain is how far, where this starts from the left and where does it end on the right, for this function. Okay, so on the x-axis, we're looking over here. It starts left over here. This is sort of like -1. It ends somewhere over here, so just count the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ends at 6, so domain is from -1 to 6. And because these dots are filled in, that means it touches the point -1 and 6 also. So it is choice 1. Okay, so it's x is between -1 and 6. A separate question, if they're asking for the range, this case they're talking about the y-axis, and they would be asking for the height. The starting point is the lowest point to the highest point, right? And if this was a question, that would be the lowest point, I believe, is -2, all the way up to the highest point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be over here. Okay. All right, let's go to number 3. Okay, number 3, we have a trig equation over here. What we need to do to solve it is we're actually going to need to move all the numbers to the right side first. So we have 2 cos minus 1 equals 0. Let's move the 1 over. We got 2 cos equals 1. And to get rid of the 2, you just divide by 2. And we got cos of some angle equals 1/2. And one way you can do is using calculator. You can do the second cosine on the graphing calculator, and I'll show you over here. So we can press second cos, and second cos is used to find angles, and because we know the value is 1/2, we're just gonna put it in 1 divided by 2 or 0.5. Press enter, and ooh, we got 1.047. Okay, it should be angle here, but check the settings, go to mode, and make sure it's under degrees because we're looking for the angle in degrees. So I'm going to quit here, I'll press enter one more time, Now we have the answer in degrees, and it's 60 degrees. So one answer is 60. So the angle is 60 degrees. And two possible solutions, choice 2 and choice 4. Now you gotta think about where else, which other quadrant is cosine also positive 1/2, right? So if you guys remember, all students take calculus over here. So we got 60 degrees, that's quadrant 1. Quadrant 1 cosine is positive, that's checked. But also quadrant 4 cosine is also positive also. So 60 degrees would be the reference angle, so we draw a 60-degree angle with the x-axis, always with the x-axis. So now we can see that from starting point 0 degrees all the way counterclockwise to this line, the reference angle 60, we have a total of 300 degrees, and that is the other angle that also gives you 1/2, so you can circle or mark 4 as the correct answer. Also, if you want to check your answer, just take out your graphing calculator, type in cosine 300, press enter, and see that it should give you 0.5, which is 1/2. And that's how you can also check. Okay, so let's move on to question 4. And we have the cube root of 64a to the 16th power. Right, so one way you can do it is actually factor out 64 and get the prime factoration of 64. So 64 is 8 times 8, and 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. This 8 here is 2 times 2 times 2. So we multiplied 2 times itself 6 times, you should get 64. You can also factor out the 8 16. This one is actually kind of tedious. There's 16 A's. And this is all underneath a big square root sign, cube root sign, okay? And the difference between a cube root and a square root is a cube root says for every 3 number inside the radical here, you can cross it out and take 1 out. So you take out 2. There's another set of 3s. You can take another 2 out. And every 3 A's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 5 sets. I can take 5 A's out. Okay? And all the numbers and variables you take out, you multiply. So this would be 2 times 2 times a. So that gives you 4 a to the 5th. And what's left underneath the radical sign, that you multiply, and what's left over just singular a here. So it's 4 a to the 5th, and let's put in this cube root here of a, and that is choice 3. Okay, you guys made it to number 5. Let's do it. Okay, so we got these series over here. Numbers goes 5, 7, 9, 11, all the way down to 43. First, check out the pattern. See if it's adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing to get to the next number. So 5 to 7 seems like plus 2. 7 to 9 is also plus 2. So there's a pattern. Every number goes up by 2. Therefore, the common difference, D, is 2. So if you want to create the formula for it, there's actually a formula for creating the formula, which is kind of weird of saying that. AN equals A1 plus N minus 1 times D, right? So we can plug this in. D is 2, okay, and A1 is 5, right? N minus 1. Okay, I'm going to multiply this out. 2 times n minus 1, so that is 2n minus 2, and 5 plus that. Okay. You combine 5 and negative 2, so that gives me 3. So it's 2n plus 3. And that is, and this is here, the formula for this sequence of numbers, right? And you can look around over here, see that that is choice 2. Okay, seems to have that formula. Sometimes there's other forms that might give you the same sequence, but always check your answer after you're done. So take a look at n starts at 1, so plug in 1 into the formula and see if that gives you 5. So if I plug in 1, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3. That gives me 5. That is good. Also double check the last number. That means this series ends at 20. Plug in 20 for n. 2 times 20 is 40. 40 plus 3 gives you the last number, 43, and pretty much I'm pretty confident that is the answer, choice 2. Alright, please click on the next video to continue to question number 6.